Keighley here, and I'm finally back with a process video and a layout for UK Scrap Addicts. And I'm really loving our theme this month of handmade embellishments. Now, I used to look at these sort of challenges, especially the ones with handmade embellishments, and I always thought, no, not for me. I used to find them quite daunting, and I didn't really know what I could create with, for handmade embellishments, especially when there's so many gorgeous embellishments that you can buy. But I have realised that I love making these and the little paperclip tassels, and I also make a little tassel bow as well. Now, I've probably made this look way more difficult than it needs to be, but I'm cutting up some embroidery thread, and I've chose to do it in this lovely kind of spring yellow, and I'm cutting lots of strips roughly the same length, and then I'm going to put them together and fold them in half on a paper clip. Now again, I've made this look way difficult than it needs to be. I could have just threaded the the embroidery thread through rather than trying to slide it onto the paper clip, so which I did realise when I made my second one. And then I get another piece of embroidery thread, and I just tie it around the top of the tassel that I've created. Now I do like double knot this, I think, and do it a couple of times just to make sure that it's not going to come apart. And then what I do, just like if you were giving somebody a haircut, you just trim it all down. Now I did use these my bigger scissors, and I do realise that I'm better off using my sewing scissors. It cuts threads a lot easier than my big chunky ones. So, and I do switch out soon and tidy it all up with my sewing scissors. Now these look really cute once they've been made, and I mean there's quite a lot of collections in the past that you can buy packs of these, and they're so easy to make. I personally wouldn't buy these anymore. I'd rather just make them myself, and you can choose whichever colour you like, whichever colour matches a collection or layout that you're creating. So I've made a pink one and a yellow one, and now I'm going to come in and make a little tassel bow, which these are so cute, and I do need to start making these a lot more because I really do like how they look, and it's just adding another texture to a layout as well. So I'm going to get again some embroidery thread, and this time I just loop it round quite a few times, and then I get some more and tie it round the middle. And then I'm going to come in with my scissors and trim each side so that you get that tassel effect, and they look really cute. So I'm just tying that up again, just double knotting it just to make sure it doesn't come apart. In fact, I think I triple knot this one. So yeah, I really like how this turns out. And there we go, I'm going to use my sewing scissors, which do cut this so much easier than my big chunky ones. I do fiddle around for a little bit, just making sure there were no straggly stray ends, and trying to also make sure that they're quite even on each side, because obviously you don't want one side of a bow being bigger than the other. So I'm just trimming that off. Now this video is quite long for me. It's a much longer video than I'd normally make, but this layout did take me a long time to make, because obviously I started off with my embellishments first, and then I come in and I start making a page which is kind of an embellishment in itself with what I create. So I've tried to leave as much of the process in. Coming up in a second is some of the process. When I first started, I didn't realise that the sun had shone onto my desk and it had made awful lighting, but I needed to leave this part of the video in so you could see what I was doing. So I do apologise here for the awful lighting, and it even moves further across my desk whilst I'm creating this, because obviously I've speeded up the video slightly. But I did need to leave this part in. So I'm starting now to design my page. The collection that I'm going to be using is All Girl by Echo Park. And you'll be able to tell now by the papers why I made those tassels in the colours that I did. I absolutely love this paper, and I used it quite a bit for fussy cutting. But there's still plenty of it left, so I can fussy cut that some more. And now I'm just creating like a little banner. So I've cut that one, and then I'm going to use that as my template to cut the bottom half. Now, what inspired me to create this layout was one that I found on Pinterest. I have been looking at it for ages. I've had it saved for ages, and I've been dying to make something similar. So I will link that layout in the description box below, so you know what I've been inspired by. So now I'm just creating a little fold here so that I can put a wooden stick. I'm not sure what they're called, kebab skewers maybe. This is it here, and I'm going to put that through that just to create like one of these banners that you can hang on your wall. In fact, Darcy's seen this page and she wants me to make her one for her bedroom, which has recently been decorated, so that's something that I definitely will be doing for her. So I've put that through the folded paper, and I'm going to stick that down by just using some sellotape. I felt that double-sided tape might come loose at some point, so I felt that the tape was easier, and as well because I do want to do some stitching shortly. I didn't want something that was going to really gun cut my needle, and I find that double-sided tape really does gun cut my needle, so the sellotape doesn't seem to do that. So yeah, so that's why I've not used double-sided tape. I do use a bit of wet glue, but I've never had any issues with the wet glue on my sewing machine. I just have to make sure that it's dry, obviously, before I start stitching. Now I'm distressing the edges. I tend to do this on nearly everything. And here is my completed banner. Off camera I did add some embroidery thread to the bottom. This did take me forever. But again, it's more or less using the same technique of cutting lots of little strands and then sticking it on and then trimming it to the length that I wanted it to be. And then I also stitched around the edge, and I've already added on the paperclip tassels that I made at the beginning. And the reason I've done this is because I wanted to stick them on already attached, just to keep them in place so they weren't going to move around. So I'm just using double-sided tape to add these to my layout. Now what I did need to do off camera, I did make my banner slightly too big, so I did need to trim that down, which I did off camera for it to fit onto my A4 page. And I've also used some embroidery thread at the top for the hanging part of my little banner. And I really love how that looks. Now the actual paper clips that the tassels are attached to will be covered up by some embellishments. I just didn't really want them to show. They kind of look a little bit odd there, so I do cover them up with some embellishments, but they look really cute how the tassels are just hanging down the side. So yeah, when I do make Darcy one of these banners, I'll be making her some little tassels on it too, because I really love how they turned out. Now you can see my stitching is terrible. Sometimes me and my sewing machine have a great time, and other times it seems to just not want to work, and it just likes to get all clogged up, and I'm constantly having to rethread it and then start again. And I mean, my lines are wonky and everything, but it really doesn't bother me. You know, these pages are handmade, so there's going to be some imperfections, and that's fine with me. So now this photo that I'm going to be scrapping is one I took the day before Darcy's birthday this year. It's very rare that I scrap photos the year that they're taken, but at the moment I've been taking so many, so I've been pulling out a few of my favourites to scrap. Now off camera I backed my photo with some pattern papers, pulling in some of the colours that I've used throughout the layout. I've also picked out some embellishments. I love the little hot air balloon near the tassels. It covers up those paper clips perfectly, and it brings in some of the blue that's in the butterfly paper. So that's inspired me to try and bring in some other blue elements onto the page just to bring that colour in. And you can see there I used blue to map my photo. I've got a little phrase sticker there, which has also got the colour blue in, so it brings it in there, and it's got all the other colours that are in this collection. They really are really cute colours. They're perfect for Darcy. They match the photo so well with the bright pink glasses and a little yellow shirt. So it really ties in well with the photo. So yeah, so I took this photo the day before her 5th birthday, and as you can see by her grin, she was so excited that she was 5 in the morning, and she really couldn't wait for her birthday. So I popped my butterfly there up on some foam, and that's in the pink and the yellow, which match the tassels. I'm just looking on the sticker sheet to see if there's anything else that I want to add in, and just bringing a few little bits in. I'm putting the bow under the phrase sticker next to the photo. I think that's the perfect spot because of the fact that the tassels at the bottom of the banner are yellow, so it brings the pink over there as well. So meaning I've got the pink and the yellow in the top left corner, and I've got the pink and the yellow in the bottom right. So I'm looking through the sticker book now to see if there's anything else that I want to add in. Now, if you see at the top, I've looped the banner string around, and I've used some of this sticker washi tape from the sticker book, and I picked a floral one out at first, thinking that it'd tie in with the butterfly paper in the banner, but I didn't really like how it looked. I felt like you couldn't really see it, and I felt that it needed to stand out a little bit more than that. So I think I do it off camera, but I do switch that out for the blue rainbow one. Again, it brings in some more of the blue and Darcy's rainbow mad, so it works really well. So here's some close-ups. Thank you everyone for watching. I will link the inspiration for this page down below, and it's so great to be back. Bye.